Good morning, my name is Elise Rich. First of all, thank you all for taking the time to be here today. Warrior Rising is incredible. Okay, so I am the co-founder, co-owner of Trivioso, Trivia for Kids and Adults. We are a values-based card company helping parents and educators connect and engage on things that matter most to them. So faith and art is what we're focused on at the moment, but I have to start with the story. Okay, so I'm taking you back a year. You're on a road trip with my husband and I and our 5 children. We're somewhere in Tennessee, and my husband says, he likes to say, okay, we're behind enemy lines and comms are down. And what that essentially is that our iPad, which was the main source of entertainment for our children, was no longer available due to a messy situation. So here we are. Didn't take long for my 9 and 11-year-olds to start bickering, start fighting a little bit. And then at that moment, maybe it was their fighting, I felt this wave, a wave of parental guilt. I can feel it right now just thinking about it. And I had spent all this time entertaining my kids with things that just wasn't at the core of who I was. Here in the front seat, I'm talking faith and theology, deep subjects with my husband, and I kind of brought it down to the level of my children. And I was kicking myself at the moment. I was like, this has to stop now, basically. I had that moment, and my kids love these brain quest trivia games. And it's just on history, science, math. I was like, all right, let's do that with our faith. And so we started it, we did that for an hour, and it was a hit. Kids loved it, and we had awesome discussions. So naturally, they fell asleep, things calmed down. And in about, I'm sitting like, I'm going to look for something. I'm going to look for it online. I get on Amazon, I'm scrolling, I'm going to find something I can buy for next road trips around the dinner table, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, dang, I got 8 hours. I'm on the highway. We're somewhere over the Appalachian Mountains. I'm going to make this ourselves. I have a background in design, so Tony and I started it right then and there, and that's where Trivioso was born. So February 2024. What I didn't realize, and thanks to Warrior Rising, I didn't realize that my personal problem was something that over 80% of people deal with. 80% of families know they're responsible to pass on their spirituality to their kids and their values. Over 70% don't feel adequate to do it. They don't know how to engage their children on these subjects. They just are like, okay, where do I start? And only 1 in 5 have a clear idea of how to teach their children their values. So there's this desire in us to share what we love and what's our core, but we don't know how to engage. We're so busy. And that is where we come in. So we have games to connect, engage, and educate. We have a gospel trivia, a Catholic trivia. I'm a Catholic. I'm not trying to push a certain faith. It's just this is what I do. And we have our Artful Fish, which is a classical art, go fish. It helps kids build on their repertoire. And if you're like, why is art in there? Art is made through the human soul. And that's why it fits really well with what we're doing. Value prop. Okay. Pass Pro doesn't have a Catholic trivia, and maybe they will one day, but those big markets, they're not pushing metaphysical realities. So that's where Trivioso can kind of glide in. We get into niche subjects that a lot of people aren't, there's a huge market for, but people aren't really investing the energy into those. So that's where we stand out and how it works. All right, you pick a game, you can order it right now on Amazon. You can get it off Etsy. If you get it off Etsy, I'm going to personally wrap it in tissue paper and mail it to you, but it might take a week. But Amazon, 1 to 2 days. So there's some of our card games, and when you get it, maybe you can be like these folks. Here's this lady. I love this lady. Thank God for this lady. She's my granddaughter, and I absolutely love the card game. She said her 9-year-old daughter's favorite artist is Berthe Morisot. Who knows Berthe Morisot? If you don't know Berthe Morisot, maybe you need to get this card game. So she's playing with grandma, and this lady and her daughter, they actually made a board game with our card game. So they were diving in deeper, and that's exactly what we want. We're not trying to replace anything. I'm not trying to replace, I'm trying to be something that people can use, a tool, a complement to get people talking about these deeper realities. All right, market analysis. Over 2/3 of the U.S. identify as Christian. 40%, we figured maybe the 40% that go to church once a month or something, maybe they would be interested in investing in our game. And then we're just trying to get 0.1%. That's less than 90,000 customers with a $1.4 million revenue over the next 5 years. Alright. I did this. I didn't know if this was gonna work. I just had a feeling. And I took a no interest credit card. I ordered a whole bunch of inventory. My husband is literally pulling a Hail Mary, right? Literally. Okay, so far we have 40,000 in gross sales, over 3,000 units sold, startup cost of 16K, and we broke even in 120 days. I don't know if you're an e-commerce person, you can see we had a Christmas bump, but we also get an Easter bump due to the nature of the names. All right, so where's Trivioso going? What you saw was organic sales, and here we have a 40 to 50. I love Amazon. Busy mom, Amazon is rocking it for us. Well, that takes me out of Walmart, Shopify, and TikTok. And the grant. How can you guys help me? Okay, our bestseller, I want you to translate that into Spanish, and you could help me do that. I want to put out 2 new games, and I want to do marketing and outreach. I wasted some money at the beginning on pay-per-click ads, but by not doing that smartly, and many of you have similar situations like that. So we're going to be smart with the money, and just excited to get more stuff out there. All right, why Trivioso? All right, I spent 13 years as Air Force Public Affairs. And our commander would have us put these social media pieces out there called Resiliency Series. And your core, so a person's core is spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. And that's where Trivioso kind of dives in. We're in that spiritual realm. Do our trivia cards help people? That's not the point. The trivia cards aren't what is happening. It's the conversations that come from those. And I think that's something that Warrior Rising can get behind. So I want to thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer.